want me to?
Did it start?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. What? Does this work? All right. This pretty piece of man meat that's standing before you is Mick's Uncle Larry. I know, look at me standing up here like some kind of ladies' man. But seriously, being fat, bald, and dealing with this mess, I mean, seriously, I probably couldn't even get cast for a live-action remake of Shrek. But to top it all off, I'm also incredibly awkward and socially inept. Like, I can't even finish a conversation right. Sometimes I'll just say, like, okay, I'm gonna go do other stuff now. Like in the middle of somebody's sentence, like, oh, I lost my job a few weeks. Oh, I'm gonna do other stuff now. So my wife, Sharon, Mick's Auntie Sis, because when Mick was 4, he told her that Sharon was her lawyer name. She's a blonde, Polish, Catholic lawyer. So she's heard every bad joke in the book. And we know this because every Midwestern dad wearing New Balances in the 80s and 90s was workshopping those, coming up to random strangers, making them uncomfortable. But we know those jokes are based on inaccurate and outdated stereotypes. Like, what's the stereotype about Polish people and blondes? That they're not smart, right? Well, she's got a law degree. She's got another master's degree. But one day we were over at her mother's house for Sunday dinner, and she just randomly asked her mother, "Hey Mom, where's that farm that you sent to Barron to?" Barron was her childhood dog. And I gotta tell you, it's amazing watching a 45-year-old woman realize in real time that sending a dog to the farm is a euphemism, not a neato retirement plan for elderly canines. What's the misconception about Catholics? They worship Mary or they worship the Pope? That's not true about her. She worships Amazon, Kohl's, and the Bravo channel. I think she wishes there was a Real Housewives of Menominee Falls. Brenda, Debbie, Lisa, Tina, they would think Bianca was the exotic one because she had a tan and dark hair. Yeah, we live in Menominee Falls, probably the most vanilla ice cream, white toast suburb in all of the Midwest. Like every other suburb, you kind of have a reaction to, and we'll get to that. But we had to wait till 2025 just to get an Olive Garden because we didn't want to seem too uppity. So let's talk about those suburbs. Like, you hear somebody tells you they're from Shorewood, you assume they're super woke, maybe a trans vegan who loves recycling. Someone tells you they're from Tosa, you can safely assume you haven't been talking to them for more than 3 minutes yet. Someone tells you they're from West Dallas. Wait, do I have to make jokes about the Arkansas of southeastern Wisconsin? Someone tells you they're from Brookfield. Obviously, you know they wish they were rich enough to live in Elm Grove. So, but if there was a Real Housewives of Menominee Falls, instead of wearing ball gowns to their parties like they do on the Real Housewives, these women would be wearing yoga pants, long sleeve t-shirt, puffy vest, and carrying a Starbucks cup. Except for that bitch Trish, you think she's better than everyone. She'd be wearing jeans to that party. So a few weeks ago, I was talking to a coworker, and she's a sweet lady, but she's on the autism spectrum a little bit. And we were talking about her quirks and some of her problems, and you know, she likes trains, she raises chickens, she flails her arms at random times as a coping mechanism. And I go, well, what's your diagnosis? And she goes, I have Asperger's. And I said, that sounds like the worst lunch ever. Just to note, that food truck was not serving Asperger's today. Oh, Mick, you finally got it. Great. So I coach a 14-year-old baseball team. And I got to tell you, as dumb as you think 14-year-old boys are, it's much worse. My boss was asking me a couple months ago when I was talking about my schedule for the season, you know, when I'd have to leave early for games or whatever. She asked me, so what do they call you? Do they call you Larry? Do they call you Coach? I'm like, well, there's a hierarchy. The ones that barely made the team that are happy to be there, they're very formal. Mr. Coach Larry, Mr. Hanson, whatever. Kids that are good but aren't stars will be Coach. But the stars, I don't even think they know my name. They speak a totally different language. They call me, hey, as in, hey, am I pitching tonight? So, Mick's not that dumb, but he did ask me to do this knowing that he was gonna get roasted. Now I'm wearing my Ricky Henderson jersey because he was my favorite baseball player growing up. Mick's not going to have that luxury in 20, 30 years of talking about his favorite athletes when he was a kid, because every year he had 20 new ones, and we found out who they were around the 1st of December when we got his Christmas list. These long, incomprehensible, delusional Christmas lists. Some years he was very specific, like he wanted socks just barely taller than the ankle. 2 years in a row, not one, 2 years in a row he asked for khakis, spelled C-A-C-I-S. Where's Sam? Sam, you look confused, and I know you went to public school, so I'm gonna help you out. Khakis is spelled K-H-A-K-I-S. I think there was one year you even asked for a yacht, and Steve thought about getting it for him. Now, I'm not going to say Mick is super white, but there's a video of him doing hip-hop dance when he lived in Viroqua that says he's super white. So there was one morning after church, we would go to breakfast at the Genesis. And he was about 3 or 4. He was just super agitated and fidgety that morning. And he goes, and somebody asked him, hey Mick, what's the matter? You look a little upset here. He just goes, angry, angry, angry. And we're like, well, why are you so upset? My fingernails hurt. So they have a tradition at Marquette where all the graduates go back with their dads to the campus and smoke cigars after the graduation ceremony. Mick started a new tradition of going in the bathroom and puking after smoking his first cigar. So we all know Mick's going to, oh, hang on, I got one more for you. So Mick's biggest legacy at Marquette, besides that epic, glorious season of JV doubles tennis, is that he went 4 years and never had Tommy Novotny stuff him in a locker. No, but we all know Mick's going to Loyola next year. We're super proud of him for that. But the most famous person associated with Loyola is Sister Jean. Sister Jean was the basketball chaplain when they made the Final Four in 2018. And she died earlier this school year at the age of 105. God, even she couldn't deal with Mick being on campus, so she noped the hell out of there. No, Mick, we all love you. Congratulations. We're super proud of you. Okay, I'm going to go do other stuff now.